It is honestly no surprise that Harris has denied a Palestinian American from speaking at the DNC. The reason why? She's a Zionist that's in 100% support of the Israeli government. This is why when the Israeli government kills Palestinian Americans in Palestine, Harris nor Biden says anything against that. They don't care that Palestinian Americans are being killed, even though Harris says she's going to fight for all Americans. That doesn't mean Palestinian Americans, though.
Welcome back inside the convention hall. It has been a week of rousing speeches showcasing Democratic unity. But outside the venue, party divisions are on display, with pro-Palestinian protesters holding marches every day this week. And last night, members of the Uncommitted movement held a sit-in after being denied speaking time on stage. Now, just moments ago, the Uncommitted movement leaders spoke to reporters and said they're still hopeful they will get a speaker on stage tonight. Joining me now.
Isn't it crazy how the DNC has allowed various Republicans that were previously in support of Trump to speak here, but they won't let a Palestinian American speak?
NBC News senior political reporter Alex Seitzwald. Alex, always great to see you. So what's the very latest here? What did we just hear from the Uncommitted movement?
Yeah, Kristen, so they have set a 6 p.m. deadline, that's about 2.5 hours from now, to hear something from the Harris campaign and DNC organizers about getting a speaking slot. That's been their request this entire week. They were denied that last night, but the negotiations have been ongoing. And they haven't said what they will do if that deadline is not met. The convention has been marked by really stunning unity from all parts of the Democratic Party and the coalition so far. So on this final night, when Vice President Harris is going to speak, there is a bit of a threat in the air that these 30 uncommitted delegates inside the convention hall with, full delegate credentials could stage some kind of demonstration and put a little bit of an asterisk or mar this otherwise fairly flawless convention so far.
And just talk about the protests overall, Alex. There have been some arrests this week, but they have been largely peaceful, right?
It's also crazy how if you speak out against genocide, you can be arrested, but if you're a Nazi, you speak about how you want to genocide Jewish people and others, you won't get arrested.
Yeah, that's right. The protests, I think, have not been as bad as initially expected. On that first day, they breached a barrier, which concerned a lot of people. But since then, things have calmed down. And inside the hall, there have been a handful of very small, short disruptions, but nothing like the big fears that people had coming in. But it's still this striking tonal difference with these uncommitted delegates and their supporters. The mood is so festive and upbeat, and they are literally talking about dead children and their relatives suffering in Palestinian territories. And they acknowledge that this is no fun. They acknowledge, one said to me, he's feels like he's the sad clown in the corner of a party. They say they want to celebrate. These delegates are all Democrats. A lot of them have held public office or worked in public office. They say they want to support Kamala Harris, and they just want this kind of token symbolic gesture so that they feel they can go back to their supporters, their constituents, and say this party is listening to us and wants us in the tent.
All right. Well, we know.
Though, just, a show of, oh, hey, I'll pretend to be against, the genocide while still actively funding an Israeli government is not enough. The Biden admin, and if Harris becomes president, the Harris admin need to put sanctions on the Israeli government, but they won't because Harris supports the genocide.
You will track what happens very closely, bring us any updates.